Hey there, hey, and welcome to this Monday pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is another day and another opportunity for us to recognize our star power. And I'm still dying with being sick after I don't know how long. The medication didn't work. The Mucinex DM failed. I don't know what's wrong with me. I probably need to go to the doctor, but I don't have any time to go to the doctor. And the weekend went by way too fast. I feel like all I did for the weekend was errands, which sucks. I think that when we look in the mirror, we should recognize where we've been and where we're going. We should be able to reflect on our past and then reflect toward our future. And I think the majority of everyone listening would agree with that, right? The idea of recognizing your star power is recognizing that you have power within yourself. Recognizing that you aren't just someone ordinary. You're something far more than that. That reflection that you see in the mirror is something that you should love, something that you should look up to, something that you should promote. You should promote yourself. You should believe in yourself more than anything else. And today is just another day for you to recognize that, right? Today is another day for you to say, yes, I can. Today is another day for you to say, I can learn a new language. We can decide we want to pick up a new hobby, start a new cookbook, or read a cookbook, or start collecting baseball cards, or start a new TV show on Netflix, because there's always a new show on there. Maybe even want to, I don't know, use an adult coloring book, or maybe you want to play with your nephew or niece. Maybe you want to start having kids. Maybe you want to change your major in college. Maybe you want to change your dorm room around. Maybe you want to change your room around at the house with your parents. Maybe you're ready to move with your friends instead of living with your parents. Maybe you're ready for your parents to move back in with you as they start to get older. Whatever the case may be, you should be saying to yourself, yes, I can. Right? That should just be the response you're saying to yourself. Following the yes, you can is to never give up. Because if you give up on yourself, if you give up when you're attempting something, when you're starting something new, when you're going into a new job, if you give up and you're just like, I don't care, I can't take this place, I'm going to quit. I can't take this. I don't want to talk to this person anymore. I hate this. If you become that person and you let anxiety and fear control you, first of all, you're not leaving. You're not living. And second of all, bad things happen, and we have to persevere through the difficulty to get back to the good, right? We have to persevere through the darkness, the sorrow, the loneliness, and the horror to get back to the good. And we've all been through bad times. We've all been through good times. We've all been under the assumption things were going to be okay, and then everything went crazy. We've been there. I've been there. You've been there. We've been there. But the moral of the story is, yes, you can. Never give up on yourself or anybody that you love. Because if you're giving up on someone you love, or you're giving up on something because it's not necessarily going the way you want it to, how are you going to get to the ending of it? You can't get through the end of a book or a story or a movie by stopping halfway through and closing it or turning it off. That's not how it works. John Cena, he hypes up his mantra of never give up to children with Make-A-Wish, to men and women who serve around the entire world, and he is really big on his mantra of never give up. And I borrow it, you know. I'm not plagiarizing because I say every day that this is John Cena's mantra. And I'm borrowing it from my podcast because I want to recognize the military men and women that serve for our country around the world. And I want to recognize those who serve for other countries as well. It's a lot to take on the responsibility to want to protect a country that you live in. And I shouldn't do anything but say thank you. If life gives you lemon, make lemonade. Don't give up on anybody that you love, and don't give up on yourself. Outside of the never give up is the why not today. The procrastination, the indecisiveness, the taking 5 years to make a decision, changing your mind, the trying to do something to make someone happy, or thinking you're happy but you're not happy and then not saying anything and then just staying in a situation because it's convenient. That's not helping you with anything. I understand that we want to pretend like I know we want to pretend like we got forever to make decisions, and we can leave the dishwasher broken in the kitchen, and we could take 5 years to paint the walls in the living room, and we could wait forever to go to the gym or return that stupid shirt that we're never going to wear to Walmart. I'm not going to say Walmart because I don't shop at Walmart, and they don't really have good clothes. We're going to take that shirt back to, I don't know, H&M. I'll give you that as an example, right? Or we need to get the washing machine fixed in the basement. Well, if you don't figure out a person to call to fix it, and you don't take the time and effort to figure out a solution to the problem, it's never going to get fixed. And we can't control time. We can't buy it. We can't stop it. There's no click remote. We have to get better about making decisions and living with them. And we can't second guess ourselves. Honestly, let's be better about this. Let's be stronger. Let's be wiser. Let's be more resilient. That's the only way. Don't sit there for a moment thinking that you have more time than you have available. And if you know you're busy, if you know you don't have time, don't push yourself to do things that you're not going to be able to complete. It's unfair to yourself, and it's unfair to someone else that's relying on you. We want to be reliable. We want to be responsible. We want to be someone that people can say, I know that that person's going to be there for me. If you want to be that person, you have to be somebody someone can count on. Honestly, why not today is a mantra of saying, if you have the opportunity to do something, do it when you can do it. Don't wait forever. Text your mom back. Call your mom back. Surprise her. Respond to your brother's text message. Be that person. Be the difference in the day. That's it. Moving on from the mantra, let's get to the headlines. So, I was going to wait to the end of the podcast to say this, but I'll start the podcast off with it. Ron DeSantis dropped out yesterday at about 2-something, 3-something. No surprise. He didn't have the numbers going into New Hampshire. He was at like 6%. It was kind of the same thing that happened to Vivek. And he was able to read the voters, which I want to commend him on. I also want to take the time to commend Ron DeSantis on the fact he brought his wife into it and his children. And I really respect everything that he's done for Florida. And I can't wait to one day be a part of that amazing state, right? I cannot wait to move my family to a state where we're free to think the way we want and not be pressured the way we are in New England. So I'm excited about the possibilities in Florida that are waiting for us, and I cannot wait to get there. Me and Skip are going to work very hard so we can transition and move there at some point. But he said the correct thing in his speech, in his video, in his monologue. He didn't have the votes, and America needs Donald Trump. They do. What they've done to Donald Trump over the last 6 years is insane. The Russia hoax, they impeached him multiple times and it all failed. Nancy Pelosi set him up with January 6th. They arrested people that didn't do anything, and they shot Ashley Babbitt on January 6th. They're the most hypocritical people that you'll ever meet. And now there's people running around cities talking about pro-Hamas, anti-American, anti-Israel things. And no one's saying a goddamn thing to them. But Ron DeSantis read the room, and he bowed out. Just like Tim Scott. Just like Doug. Right? Just like the ex-vice president, Pence. Just like Vivek. These men knew to back out. Because they all understood what the country is wanting. What Republicans want. What conservatives want. Even what independents need. Donald Trump. And he didn't hesitate to say that he backed Donald Trump. In fact, he included it in his speech. And I would like to commend him. I think he did an amazing race. He should have probably came up with a better strategy running against Nikki Haley. And he should have probably had more to say against Donald Trump instead of Donald Trump didn't handle COVID correctly. He needed to have better things to say. He's still an amazing governor of Florida. And maybe in 4 years, he'll be able to run again and he'll have a better start. I would like to commend Ron DeSantis instead of making fun of him, because I've been doing that for the last week or two. But moving on from Ron DeSantis, I'm going to put him in the corner and give him a high five. I'd like to move on to Nikki fucking Haley. And what me and Skip have been saying. No Nikki. This bitch is lying her ass off on the stage at Fox and everywhere else, pretending that she's better than Trump because she's 52. She cheated on her husband twice. She is pro-war. She doesn't care what we're at war for, and she's lying. She made a really crappy comment about race that was really odd and awkward, and just, I don't think she's reading the room. Just the way Ron DeSantis didn't read it. She's not reading it either. So we got problems here. We do. If we are going to win the presidential seat, the Republicans, then we all need to be behind one person. It can't be no Trumpers. It can't be anti-Trumpers. It can't be no MAGA. Because the acronym MAGA is Make America Great Again. So anyone that doesn't want to support the idea or the ideology of making America great, I guess doesn't fucking belong in America, quite frankly. Can you understand that our borders don't exist anymore and illegal people are hopping into our country and getting $5,000 Visa gift cards while normal, everyday, middle-class Americans that get up every day and go to work don't have any money and they're living paycheck to paycheck? Now, that might not be me or Skip, but that is the majority of the middle. Honestly. Shit's getting crazy, man. Just insane. And I don't want to sit here and I don't want to lie and I don't want to pretend. And we're going to lie and we're going to pretend like Nikki Haley isn't who the fuck she is. And we're going to act like Joe Biden isn't clinically ill while the entire Democratic Party run around him trying to hype him up on the shitty CNN, CNDNC news. And while even Fox gives the wrong talking points. Honestly, it can't just be Trump's wrong about everything and they're right about everything, because they haven't been right about anything. I told you during the Friday Saturday podcast that I listened to Donald Trump on Saturday, and I did. And every time I listen to him talk, I just feel like I've become smarter. I have been a Trumper, a MAGA, a Trump follower, a Trumpian from the beginning of the beginning. See, I go back to Trump when he was on Home Alone. And I go back to Trump when he did You're Fired. I go back to Trump before anybody was really talking about Trump running for president. And I said when he was running for president to my husband, he was going to win and he was going to set the world on fire. And everything that I predicted was right. I was right. And I have been vindicated every day since that day when I told my husband, when Donald Trump said that he was going to run for president, I was like, he's going to win. He's going to beat everyone because the rest of them are politicians and he's not. And he's talking to the people, and people are sick of politicians. They're tired of Obama. They're tired of these motherfuckers lying to our faces, saying they're going to do one thing, then not do it and do another. And the reason why Trump is able to get millions of people in America, half the fucking nation. There's 330 million here, and half of that, if not more of that number, is going to vote for Donald Trump 2024. I'm voting for him just like I did the last time and the time before that. And I'm not going to sit here on the podcast that I love to do every day, Born to be a Star, and lie to you and pretend that I don't like politics and pretend that Donald Trump didn't run the country the way he was supposed to. Because he did. He was an amazing leader. There were no fucking wars, right? None. He wouldn't have left Afghanistan the way Biden did. 13 military men and women wouldn't have been disposed of and murdered in Afghanistan. Their poor mothers and fathers getting no ability It's upsetting. It's sad. And it's annoying. Why are we misusing media to act like Nikki Haley has a shot in hell against Donald Trump? Why are we pretending like Ron DeSantis was really staying in that race? And I knew the moment Vivek was at 6th in Iowa, he was out. You could just tell. And the moment that Ron DeSantis said he wasn't going to meetings, that meant he was out too. The moment he said he was going to South Carolina and he wasn't going to New Hampshire, I thought he was going to be out at that point. They're wasting money in the GOP. And the longer Nikki Haley pretends she's running, I mean, if she does not win New Hampshire today, I don't know why the fuck she's still going. Like, I just don't understand. This shit's embarrassing. Right? Embarrassing. Everyone should be embarrassed and just very ashamed. Nikki Haley is a Democrat. She is going after Democrat voters and unaffiliated and independents. It's one thing to go after independents and unaffiliated, but the danger with when it's going after a Democrat is they could play you and then vote democratically because they're not a Republican. And the only reason that some of the people in New Hampshire claim that they're voting for her is because they don't like Trump. And what do you think is going to happen with Ron DeSantis' numbers from yesterday? Honestly, let's just laugh together. Women don't know everything. The majority of women do need a man. They should be married. Children should have fathers. That's it. Right? A healthy marriage is a marriage where two people love each other and they're willing to work together and fight for it. A divorce is an easy way out because you don't want to deal with the situation. So, listening to Nikki Haley try to pretend like her and her husband are so great when she cheated on him twice, and she's not reading the room, and she's talking about women's rights, and she's not focusing. The Democratic votes could be a distraction to play everybody in the Republican side. And everybody needs to be really careful of that. But nope. I listened to Fox yesterday, and Bream, whatever, Shannon Bream, whatever the fuck her name is, really pissed me off on Sunday. She just kept going back and forth saying, isn't it possible Nikki could pick up some points and do this? Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? And Skip kept saying to me, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And it's not that I don't feel like people aren't entitled to their opinion. It's that I feel like, how the fuck are we at this point where you're just saying crazy shit? Like, is this Fox News? And that's why I don't really watch Fox News like that anymore. I'm more of a Tucker Carlson kind of person. I like Royce White, and I like a lot of other voices. I listen to Daily Wire. I like all the voices on there. I'm a Candace Owens fan. I'm more so that kind of conservative. So Fox, it's not really my thing. Why can't rules be followed in the United States of America? Because everybody knows they don't have to follow them because they're not going to jail and they're not going to pay any piper for anything. Because there is no Department of Justice. People are going to be murdered and killed and thrown into trains in New York and raped and run over by illegal aliens, and nothing is going to happen to them. They're going to let them the fuck out of jail and let them do it all over again. Because nobody cares. Mayorkas doesn't give a fuck about us Americans. We don't matter. We're going to be the minority. They're all running around saying that. But guess what? You're going to be the minority, motherfucker, because when we're done, your ass ain't going to have a job nowhere. You're going to be so fucking blacklisted, there's not going to be a list of black that's going to exist to accept you. No more. No more of this kissing ass and sucking up and pretending like we need to endure this crap from these people. The motherfucker, you only have jobs because you get elected into them, and you can get elected out of them. Like, see, AOC needs a wake-up call. She needs somebody to run up on her ass in New York. Her security needs to get lost. And she needs a reminder of where the fuck she is. Because clearly, she's a pretender too. They all are. Reality needs to slap these motherfuckers in the face. Just gonna say it. Trust in yourself that these people that keep robbing these stores are only doing one thing, making the stores close and leave the area. And when the business leaves the area, there's nothing there. It's just empty storefronts and there's nothing there. That's bad for business. There's not going to be any growth, and that's how neighborhoods die. Incoherent idiots exist in the Senate, and we can't do anything about it until the Republicans take the Senate back over and we get some more competent people. We don't have a large enough hold of the House right now, and I'm just hoping that the guy that's in charge of the House for the Republican side doesn't try to legislatively sign off on anything stupid. And when I hear these talking heads on Fox News say, and even fucking Ben Shapiro, oh, they have to sign off on something because it's their responsibility. Do you really want them to sign off some dumbass legislation that's not going to stop illegal aliens from coming into our country? Because now I want real legislation that's going to stop them from coming into our fucking country. I don't know. Who is tired of green energy lies? That would be me. No one's buying these electric cars. Of course, rich people or well-off people or people that have money are buying these things, but not really. Like, I know people with money, and not a lot of them have Teslas. While some of them do, many of them do not. Like, granted, if you've got money, you've got the ability to pay $100,000 for a vehicle. If you're going to be buying a prestigious electric vehicle, you're probably looking at a Tesla or BMW, right? Maybe even I'd say a Volkswagen, just because those are top quality vehicles. You're probably not going to want to look at Buick, right? You're probably not going to want to have an electric Honda, right? It's not attractive, right? It's not, right? A Ford, pass, dude. I think that we need to be faster and smarter, and I think that we need to ignore these idiots when they're talking about green energy and how they want to control how we travel and all this shit. We need to go out and protest. Not about fucking Hamas, but we need to protest the government. What happened on January 6th needs to happen again. And granted, it's going to be the middle class that does it, so I don't really know how that's going to happen because the majority of us have to go to work. But there needs to be some sort of networking and some sort of ability that brings us together so that we can fight back against these fucking idiots. Because it's just getting irritating at this point. I already said at the beginning, Ron is out, but we knew that because he just had a weird campaign where he wasn't able to connect directly to the people. He did a great job in Florida, but the United States is not Florida. The main part of the conversation starts now. Let's get into it. Dumb girls lead to dumber women. Exactly. When I hear women that are like in their 30s or their 40s and they're hyping up the fact that they have like 6 kids but they don't have a college education, I just can't help feeling like maybe that wasn't the best decision. Because how are you going to grow in your career if you're not educated? And in some regards, I don't think people should be going to college anymore because it's totally insane. But at the same point, I feel like when girls are very young, like I'm going to say from the age of 14 to 18, they get involved with cliques or girls or guys, and they have stupid ass relationships. And maybe even when they're 19 or 20, they might get pregnant and they might decide to keep the child. They're not married. They're not mentally thinking long term about their lives. If you're a young woman and you're not thinking long term about your future and where you're going to be, someone else is, and you're going to get stepped all over. This is not a nice world. It is a cold-blooded, horrible, painful hell that we live in. And we can make it nicer by saying nice things and acting kind toward each other. But in the reality of it, it's not a nice place. I know we want to sit here and lie and act like it is, but it isn't. There's a lot going on here, and we have a lot to get through. So be wise, be smart, be realistic, stay awake, read the room. You can't make decisions that are going to steer you in the wrong way. As a young girl, these decisions are going to be a detriment to you when you become a woman. And I have made really horrible decisions when I was younger that have definitely fucked me over at the point I'm at now. But instead of me being angry with myself and holding on and wishing I could go back in time, I just admit it, I reflect, and I just deal with it. I adjust, and I just move on. But there's some decisions that you're going to make at a very young age that you cannot fix, that are going to be so detrimental to you that there's not a comeback from it. And I think social media has played a role in telling young women how they're not good enough, and telling young women that they can't swim, they can't do weightlifting, they can't play women's basketball, they can't play women's soccer, they can't do anything because a man can do it better than them. And the government has misused their power and their representation to really fuck over women, young women, and girls. And social media should not be used as a tool to create anxiety, fear, and like mental issues with young women, making them think they're not good enough for anything, leading them to commit suicide or like burn themselves or torture themselves, or think they have to be in bad relationships, thinking they have to kiss the ass of other girls so they can fit into a clique or whatever. Sometimes when you look back at like your experience in high school with all like the cliques and all the crap that was there, sometimes I look back and I'm very proud of myself when I was a younger woman, because very earlier on when I was in high school, I was just like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks, and I just did whatever I wanted. And I did that at a very young age. I went through my goth phase when everything I wore was black. I went through my I'm a beautiful girl phase, which was because I was. And I just never really cared about what anybody thought. Granted, I had friends, but I'm probably not friends with them now, and I wouldn't want to be. We have to create a better foundation for women, for girls. Because it's not fair that they have to compete with boys. Because boys don't have to compete with girls. And it's unfair. It is just unfair. And I think that the detrimental experiences that they could have earlier on in their lives can lead to them experiencing something even worse when they're an adult. Trust in yourself first. If you have an intuition or your consciousness is talking to you, or you have this weird feeling about something, or you can basically read the moment. Honestly, you have to trust in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to understand yourself. We gotta be smarter. You gotta believe in yourself. If you get this itchy feeling, or your head starts itching, or you feel like somebody's talking about you, or somebody's planning something out on you, it's probably because they are. If you think someone's evil and they're malicious and they're attacking you and they're envious and they're hateful, they probably are. Sometimes your consciousness is correct. Sometimes people aren't good. Sometimes hateful things do exist. Sometimes people do have it out for you. Honestly, be willing to believe in yourself and ignore everything else, all the background noise, and just trust in you first. No, not every person you meet will be great. Like I just said, a lot of people you meet will suck. They'll be horrible. They'll be envious. They'll be hateful. They'll be jealous. They'll be mad, right? I heard this girl say to me, "Oh, I saw you had a Jetta and you had personal plates." Yeah, so what the fuck does that mean? Clearly, I like nice things. If I have a Jetta and I have a Volkswagen and it's I have like special plates on my car. So why are you reflecting on me or saying that crap to me? Probably because there's some sort of hate or deceitfulness in that. And see, half the time I'm completely unaware of those things because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really notice these little itty bitty people that say disrespectful, rude things to me because they're not on my radar of me giving a fuck. Let me tell you why. I'm after the gold in the top, baby. I don't give a fuck about the people at the bottom. Yes, I care about my everyday people that I'm working with and we're trying to survive, but I'm after the lottery, motherfucker. I want to be rich, not okay rich, but rich. I'm after that. I'm building a dynasty for my children, not just a normal life. They're all going to fucking private school. I'm on a different level, okay? And you're clearly aware of that if you listen to me every day. When people try to insult me and disrespect me and try to make me feel bad about myself, they fail at it. You want me to tell you why? Because I don't care what you think about me. The only person that my thought matters, that I care about how they feel about me, is my husband and Jesus. If you're not Jesus Christ, the Holy Father, and your name isn't Skip, then I don't give a fuck what you think. There's that, right? And I'm not out to make anybody happy or to prove myself to anybody because I already know my value and my worth. So I ain't looking for you to give me some sort of fucking approval because I don't care, right? You're not my manager at my goddamn job. Get the fuck out of here. There's the honest response, right? So when some bitch comes at you and says, "Oh, you drive that car. Oh, I saw your back. Blah, blah, blah." Just look at them like, yeah, you a hateful hoe. Okay, moving the fuck on. Like, don't be mad at me because you live with your mom, bro. That's too bad, honey. That's too sad, right? Mm, mm. Brings me back to the beginning of the conversation. Dumb girls lead to dumb women. Every fucking day. Sometimes every person you meet will not be great. There'll be these annoying fucking sarcastic, unable to deal with people in reality bitches that can't talk to anybody except for TikTok on their phones. These motherfuckers, they'll be like them, or they'll be incompetent and they won't be smart at all because they're uneducated, right? These are the bitches that have kids before they're 25, don't have any property, don't have any education, and don't have shit to fall back on. They can't give you the definition of words, and they can't explain in depth It can't be that. It can't be we sit here and we pretend like people that make bad decisions are okay because they make bad decisions. And when I hear other women or other dudes say, I had a kid when I was young, are you trying to make me feel bad for you? Because I fucking don't, because I didn't make that decision. I was smart enough to know I can't have kids until I'm financially stable and prepared and ready to have them. Granted, my situation with polycystic ovary syndrome and infertility haven't been fun lately, but at some point, I'll get to pregnancy and we'll have a family and they'll be at the private daycare and the private schools and they'll be fine. But I think that when you meet these crappy people, women or men, that want to chastise you and be disrespectful and tell you what they think about things, you probably need to just take 5 seconds to look at the sky or something and reflect on the fact that there's nothing in their brains but air and they don't warrant the time to talk to you. So, be that person. Be the person that's not great. My expectation is that you're going to suck anyways. The expectation is that I'm going to meet you, you're going to pretend to be nice to me, and then you're going to be hateful and deceitful once I start talking to you. Why? I'm actually smart. Why? I like nice things. Why? I'm intelligent. Why? I'm not like everybody else. You're going to figure that out very fast, and then it's going to go from you wanting to be nice to me to you being hateful and deceitful and jealous and mad. That happens all the time. And I don't care. And neither should you. If you're listening to this, you've probably experienced what I'm talking about. You're surrounded by these people and you want to talk to people and you want to give them the time of the day. But when you actually start talking to people, you recognize the only reason they want to talk to you is because they want to complain about something or they want to tell you about their life's problems. That could be true. Or they're haters. The best way you can protect yourself against these people is to limit your circle, know your strengths, which is the next part of my conversation, and don't give people your time that don't deserve it. Your strength, finding your strength, understanding who you are, is a simple thing to do. Gym regimens. So I told you last week my gym regimen for the week is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm going to do that every week. I'm going back to my shakes. I made sushi bowls this week, and I'll take a picture and post it on my Instagram and maybe my X, although I really don't post pictures on there, so I don't know how that's supposed to work. I don't really do it though, but okay. Moving on from the main part of the conversation, let's get to watching things. The Fargo season finale was so good. Oh my God, I want to watch it again. I loved every episode. It was very entertaining, very fulfilling, and I love Fargo. I hope that they don't let it go 2 years without having another season come back on. So I'm excited for whatever's next with that show. I think that this last season was so detailed, so extraordinary, and I'm looking forward to more character build up and whatever else that they have to offer with that. Reacher, we watched the end of Reacher, and like always, it ended the way that I would have assumed it would have ended. Queen Pins, I think that's on Netflix or Amazon. I think it's Netflix. How do we watch the news? I don't think we watch the news. I think we find people that provide what's happening in the news and we listen to them. Like I tell you every day on No Media Allowed, I really can't stand news stations, right? When you look at the ratings for television and news and Fox and CNN and ABC and all these stations and you look at the numbers, they're not good, right? And I am a Christian conservative Republican, right? I'm a MAGA, Make America Great Again American. America first American. That's what I am, and you can judge me, and you can hate me, and I don't give a fuck. And I'm all about freeing the world, too. I think that they need to stop limiting Ireland. I think they need to stop trying to punish people. And I think that we need to get to a better place. Oh my God, you're so annoying. Ah! You're such a dick. You just gotta interrupt what the fuck I'm doing, you shitty bastard. Oh, get out of here. Pause. Skip came in here. Oh my God. Oh, what is it? You gotta be careful when you watch the news. Get out of here, you fucking dick bag. Oh my God. I can't stand you. Fuck, you're so annoying, yo. Sorry for the interruption. Skip Sorry's coming in on me when I'm trying to podcast. He's such a fucking interrupter. You fucking bastard. I think you got to be careful what news station you trust. And I think you got to be careful with the people that are speaking. Because it's one thing to have Fox News, but it's an entirely different thing to have people on Fox News that are not admitting reality. And they're lying about the fact that Nikki Haley is not going to beat Donald Trump any day in hell or in this earth that's moving. It is another thing to lie about the fact that we were in a better predicament in the entire world when Donald Trump was the president of the United States of America. And I mean the entire world. When we give power to insane leftist idiots, we get insane leftist results. I told you earlier, who wants to keep hearing about green energy? The poor people that live in fucking England and UK and Ireland and Australia and a bunch of other countries where they have to listen to these fucking lunatics tell them about electric cars and what they eat and the fact that they should eat beans and bugs and shit. It's crazy. I'm not eating bugs, man. Not doing it. So there's that. I think when it comes to the news, you have to decide what kind of news you want. Do you want news of what's actually going on, or do you want to listen to somebody that's going to talk like commentary? Like, part of me likes Dan Bongino because I find him entertaining, but another part of me feels like he does a lot of talking. Another part of me likes Candace Owens because she gets straight to the point. But then another part of me likes Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, and the crew there. And I really do like Royce White and a bunch of other people as well. Dinesh D'Souza's pretty great. He's straight like news talk. You really got to be careful who you're listening to when it comes to news. So just figure out what you like the most. Death and Other Details, which is on Hulu, and I'm about to start watching that tonight with Skip. We're going to try it. He doesn't know yet, but we're going to look at it. American Nightmare, that's on Netflix. I'm probably going to watch that by myself. And Monday Night Raw, my expectations, I don't know what's going on with Seth Rollins, but I think he's injured. We'll see what's happening. I kind of want to see CM Punk do some things. I think he's going to fight American Nightmare. We'll see what's happening with that. Honestly, I don't know what else is going on there. Sami Zayn is doing something. Like, they need to have more action on that. So we'll have to wait and we'll have to see. That was the convo for watching. Let's get to eating. So I started making meal preps again. Skip got mad because it took me an hour and a half to do it, and he has no patience with me cooking. He's just one of those dudes. He told me I should have bought the sushi bowls already, but I made them myself. I probably should have just done that and just spent $40 instead of whatever the hell I spent. But whatever. I made sushi bowls for the week, and I'm excited to eat them. back to the menus. I kind of want to make a menu for every week. Like, what are we going to eat for, like, dinner? What am I going to make for lunch? I want to have 2 go-to menus, and I really think that's going to help me with staying on track with how we're eating and when we're eating. And I think that's really important. Broccoli crust. I didn't even know you could make broccoli crust. But what you do is you take broccoli, you put it into like a stand mixer, or you like chop it up very finely with a very fine knife. You put that into a mixer, you add eggs, you add, I'd say you add 3 to 4 eggs, you do the broccoli, you add an olive oil, of course, and maybe you want to add some spice into that. You mix that up, and then you roll it out until you get like a dough consistency, and then you can either make that the actual dough, or you can make that the crust. You can make any kind of pie, whatever you want, and you can make it good. They could be very surprised. Kale and farro bowls. I saw it and it looks bomb, so I'm willing to try it. Mediterranean salad. That's on my list of things I want to make, so that's definitely going on the list for me to make for meal preps. Ravioli soup. Have you ever heard of ravioli soup? I'm assuming for ravioli soup, you get raviolis, you steam them, then you get some sort of sauce. You mix in like chicken broth or beef broth. You add in diced tomatoes. You add in like lots of flavoring, oregano, Italian seasoning, garlic, all that, thyme, rosemary, whatever. You mix that together. You add in whatever tomatoes, whatever layers you want into it. Obviously, you add in ricotta. You add in mozzarella cheese, and you just mix. And you just make ravioli soup. I think that'd be something very interesting to make, and it sounds delicious, and I want to try it. Finally, honey garlic pork. Clearly, that's going to need to be seasoned, marinated, and you're going to have to, like, get a 1-pan or... We'll see what happens. That is the end of the Monday podcast. I will see you on Tuesday. Don't forget, you're a star wherever you are. Bye.